Hello, everybody. I know it's late, but who the hell cares? I'm here to give you guys my full thoughts on the whole Alijah Vera-Tucker situation, or at least the injury news that he tore his tricep and is pretty much out for the year. So for the third time, so this is what 1, 22, 20. His third time in 5 years, he's missed pretty much the entire season due to injury. Um, I know a lot of Jet fans are upset right now, and I understand their pain. I understand their frustration. But we do have some, for the most part, good, solid depth at the offensive line. I do believe, Aaron Glenn's going to move Joe Tippmann to right guard and move Josh Myers to center. I don't think he's going to move Amon Membu to guard. I don't think that crap's going to happen. If he did, that's a terrible move. But with that being said, um, I'm not giving up on the season. I don't understand for the life of me why not just Jet fans, but there's NFL fans in general that believe in this just tank. There are times where let's just tank the season. Why do you want to root for failure? Failure's gonna Rooting for failure is gonna bring on more misery. You know, even if the Jets are truly bad this year, let it happen, right? The Jets can only control what the Jets can control, right? We're just fans, we're just consumers. I'm a fan that wants to see his beloved football team have success. And I am a bit optimistic of the direction that Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji are establishing for the New York Jets. I think they have the right attitude. I know people said the same thing about Robert Saleh and Joe Douglas, and that turned out to be a disaster. But in this case, their actions speak a lot louder than my words. I mean, obviously, you know, they have yet to win or lose a win and lose a game in the regular season, which wins and losses do actually matter. But with all that being said, I like how they're handling things. I like they're more proactive than reactive. If there's one thing I would like for them to do, is straight for that real solid wide receiver from the Raiders, Jacoby Myers. I would probably trade Quantez Stiggers, and either a fourth round pick for him, but we'll see. Because we need some more depth and solidity and talent to really make our wide receiver room a bit more respectable. Because while I do like Josh Reynolds, um, he's the only, Tyler Johnson, I believe, is on the practice squad still. Aaron Smith's a rookie. Alan Lazard stinks. Malachi Corley's gone. Xavier Gibson's nothing to write home about. The only true solid wide receiver, so really good receiver we have is Garrett Wilson. And, you know, our tight ends, I know we got Jelani Woods, but let's see how he turns out. Hopefully he stays healthy for the most part because he's been injury prone the last couple of years. So we'll see what the heck happens. I know he's a tight end, but still, we'll see what the heck happens, man. I know the Jets are playing the Steelers week 1. J.J. Watt's going to broadcast the game along with Ian Eagle, I believe. Um, I know his old younger brother, who's also a future Hall of Famer himself, and T.J. Watt's going to be rushing Justin Fields, who used to play with Justin Fields back in when Justin Fields was one of the two quarterbacks on the Steelers last year. Um, but listen, man, it's all. I know it hasn't been. I know it's not easy having that optimism being a Jets fan these past 15 years. Forget about not making it to the Super Bowl. We haven't made the darn playoffs since 2010. 2009 and 2010 were arguably the happiest years of my life being a Jets fan. And ever since then, we haven't really had anything close to that. It's been nothing but misery after misery after misery. So, let's see what the hell happens. Well, only time will tell. Could the Jets get their butt kicked by the Steelers? It's a possibility. Could the Jets beat the Steelers? Absolutely. Anything is possible. I know people say it's the Jets, same old Jets narrative. No, we always hear that narrative. We've been hearing that narrative for God knows how long. And it is what it is, you know? I mean, don't let it bother you. You know? The Cowboys, I don't think we should feel as miserable as Dallas Cowboy fans right now after the crap that Jerry Jones pulled, which it baffles my mind that that piece of garbage is in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. It's disgraceful to me at this point, but that's none of my business. I mean, they treated Michael Parsons like he was just a player, not a top five, top 10 defensive player, not a once in a lifetime type football player, especially on the defensive side of the football. They traded him to the Green Bay Packers for two first round picks for even though they did get in return a pretty solid defensive tackle at Kenny Clark, he ain't Michael Parsons. You know, Michael Parsons, believe it or not, when he was healthy and on the field, he was the best player on the Cowboys. That's the damn truth as far as I'm concerned. But with that being said, I'm sorry. I had my head in the fog for a moment. My apologies. But then again, that's been kind of an occasion for me at times. Um, so guys, just be calm. I'm not saying you shouldn't grieve or I'm not shouldn't be feel sad or anything, but don't don't give up on the season completely. Give Aaron Glenn a chance to coach. Let's see what this to me right here is going to be a proof. It's going to, as the saying goes, the proof is in the pudding, right? The proof is in the pudding. This is where Aaron Glenn to me shows what he's capable. What really upset us about Robert Sala is that he couldn't handle the pressure. He couldn't handle adversity. Um, he couldn't handle the pressure. He couldn't handle adversity. Let's hope Aaron Glenn does what Robert Sala failed to do. You know, I think Aaron Glenn. I think for what I've seen of Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji so far, they have the makings of a good quality GM and head coach combo. But that's just me personally. That's all I have to say right now. That's all I have to say. Excuse me on the matter. Hope you guys have a good day today. Peace out.